Welcome to the Musing Moon Meditation, the celestial lunar energy, Aquarian style. This energy is infused with the elemental air. Along with the earth, air carries our thoughts on the streams of the winds, the air waves, our curiosity to go out on a quest, question everything, stay curious, along with our intellectual genius, our inner genius. As the earth is supporting the tangible, the formations, the foundations bring our ideas into realities, percolating thoughts. Arriving February 9th, 2024, 5:59 p.m. Eastern, 4:59 p.m. Central, 3:59 p.m. Mountain, and 2:59 Pacific. Go ahead and check your timeline for when she apexes for you in your time zone. As we all know, or maybe we don't know, new moons offer us an opportunity for a fresh start. Under the illumination of this lunar cycle, a period of introspection, reflection. It truly is a perfect time to set new moon intentions, maybe refurbish the last new moon's intentions as well, planting those seeds for the future along with growth, manifestation. It's a period of growth, development, and it gradually increases over time and space as we harness in the energy of the moon, hopefully through ritual, our innovative heart-inspired actions. So it really is important at the beginning of any new lunar cycles to really turn our focus inward, our intentions even, reflecting upon those desires that are heart-aligned, those aspirations that are really in divine alignment with our intentions, honing in on a specific energy that the new moon is kind of illuminating. In doing so, it really does lay the foundation, the groundwork for the manifestation, the dreams, our goals to become real and manifest easier. So we have an intention to know where we are really heading, with new moons just creating sacred space for us to embrace our potential for the birthing, the renewal, those fresh starts, the beginning of a variety of new cycles in our lives. This happens every new moon. But this new moon brings opportunity to really expand our perspectives, our illumination, light, the frequency of light, our third eye. I almost said our sixth eye, but our third eye, stars. It's really a futuristic, kind of future-focused, high vibrational, optimistic energy around this new moon. It's a time for us to break the barriers, break down the boundaries of what we believe to be possible, whatever possibility in our lives, along with some really potent, like lightning, exciting energy, possibly a revolutionary energy, adding a whole new flair to a different momentum that we're possibly flowing into. This really does remind me of scalar waves, if you're familiar with scalar waves. So it really is time to hang on and channel this energy and bringing it into our lives and possibly into our bodies. And Aquarius is the 11th sign in the astral wheel. It brings us this sense of breaking things down and rebuilding to get to the magic on the other side, innovation, progress, individuality, individuation. So whenever Uranus shows up, it's this eclectic genius. It really is that lightning bolt, aha, epiphany, eclectic surprise. We get an energetic cosmic boost, sometimes an energetic hiccup, when the sun and the moon are dancing in the cosmic sky of Aquarius season. It's really a time to illuminate and embrace our cosmic uniqueness and how we can expand our own individual starlight out into the world with more authenticity, more spiritual truths, inspiritedness than ever before. And as an air sign, Aquarius really brings that inspiriting energy, the potent energy of ideas to the surface, or possibly from the airwaves, from the galactic corridor of our perception, seeing things through literally the eye of Creator, the galaxy. And the season of Aquarius is shedding light upon endless, unlimited possibilities. Every year we do go through this. A new knowing, a new night sky, a probability, a possibility, only if we allow it in to see things differently. And with the energy of Uranus and Aquarius, it's this disruption. It's the disruption of the status quo, along with Mercury, the magician, contradiction, fixating on a future that possibly transcends the status quo. This is kind of a intellectual liberation. Even I was just going to say a library, an intellectual library of liberated freedom, a techno future, including transportation, computers, of course, robots, even our smart, not so smart kind of phones. It's as if the universe is dropping this cyborg seedlings and birthing anew, especially with Pluto from the underworld of Hades moving into the first degree of Aquarius. So this is really loving what we kind of have hidden deep in the dark, the deep, dark secrets of our innovations. We're kind of splitting at the seams, it seems. SEAMS and SEEMS. It's possibly feeling a little bit of a muddled reality, technology, government. You know, our world is transforming faster than that of our ancestors possibly ever imagined. And Mars is also passing through Capricorn at the 28th degree. So it's this willful energy, and courage has this opportunity, the ability to grow under resistance. It's the bending. It's actually kind of this yin yang energy with Mars in Capricorn. It's bending the reed, and it's a resilient life force. It's reaffirming and also at the same time preserving. It kind of reminds me of like the time machine where we'd write down stuff, put it in a time machine, and then leave it under the earth or out into the atmosphere for 20 years or something, a reflection. But the pulse of this collective energy is possibly where we lose ourselves. We're in the chaos. And at the same time, we've got Saturn kind of initiating and waking up the dreams, the illusions in Pisces, the delusions, even the hidden messages, the memoirs from really another timeline, maybe that age-old fairy tale kind of percolating and coming to the surface. So with the sun and the moon coming together in Aquarius, it really is a powerful energy, creating this potent energy for change, transformation. And it's a moment for us to choose to begin something anew, birthing something new, emphasizing around ideas of social, society, relationships, friendships. And with the presence of Pluto, this is kind of our need to not just regenerate, but re-collaborate different types of relationships, even our dynamics, our connection in society, and leading into the future, these long-lasting kind of influencers beyond just this new moon moment. And there's a link between the moon, Saturn, Jupiter that's actually allowing for more optimistic venue and progress in dealing with the realities of our day-to-day world and into our future life and world. Even with Jupiter in harmony with Saturn, there's this strong potential to really obtain a very positive, concrete, solid result. And life is transforming, like I said, faster than ever. So it really is a time for making those important changes in our life with the potential for this positive, optimistic progress, rewards, and caution. Be cautious. It's needed to really avoid the confusion and feeling like we're on unstable ground. It's a time to really analyze what's happening for us, not to us, from the universe, and really see how it's really impacting our day-to-day world. It's a great time to make important changes in our life, but really, again, it goes back to disrupting the status quo. And with the potential to really upgrade or level up our energy, frequency, vibration, elevating, there might be some disruptions along with endings in relationships as we go through life transformations. This is the energy and the influence of Pluto. So be mindful of this energy along with Venus, Mars, and Jupiter. Neptune's going to kind of activate our imagination, and that might create like a quest, if you will, in our mind's linear thinking. So kind of overshadowing our thoughts as they're percolating. So all in all, it's about transformation, change, Pluto, emphasizing harmony within our soul and our day-to-day world. And, just being aware of confusion, the potentiality of that. But there really is this positive energy between Jupiter, the progress, along with the optimism. This is like activating that, and I'm bringing in Uranus as well, because it is the initiation of great transformation and just embracing love, Venus, the joy, the love molecules, the joy molecules, and allowing the influence to bring our intuitive gifts and our inspiredness through action with Neptune. It really is a positive, optimistic energy for improving our life, to see it differently out into the future than we possibly have ever imagined before, like leveling up, taking it up a notch, or even 20 notches, just saying. So with that, dear Aquarius, I don't know about you, but are there times where you feel like you just don't belong? You're a citizen of another world, of nowhere, Neverland, anchored in the invisibility, and really sometimes you feel as if you're losing your grip on your identity, like far out starry night places. Go inward, introspection. And this perspective stems from having a highly subjective experiences with the moon and the sun in Aquarius aligning in your first house of self-knowledge, how you're seen. I act, I am. It's the toiling of the fields, the hard working involved in relating to the world kind of on the surface. Mercury's kind of adding this curious quest for everything, a sense of pleasure, but also possibly the rationalization of the give and take, your give and take possibly, relationships, maybe with Pluto probing and percolating there. In your first house, you might be kind of in this residue, if you will, where those relationships are kind of hindering in your auric field. Could be siblings, family. Maybe they've colored your eye on relationships. Maybe they've given you like an idea or an ideal what the family and those lovers are supposed to percolate as. Just trust that when Mars and Venus meet in your first house, you may turn poisons of the past into urgent, loving self-care. So forgive it and say no thank you. Dear Pisces, for you, this is all happening in your 12th house of like the untethered soul, if you've read that book, where it's like this separation, being separated from those engagements with Uranus happening in your third house. So it's like the communication abilities, the habits, the regimes. So it's like excelling and reconciling between schools of thought and your day-to-day world, while chaos might be ensuing around you. Use Saturn to be your guide, and kind of it's a sobering momentum for you through your first house of yourself, who you are, how you are seen in your response systems. So you're questioning where tempting illusions and mirages in your day-to-day world have you really banging your head against the wall. And Mars is going to be activating and accelerating in your 12th house, where you have this unconscious desire to possibly address those numbing lifestyle practices, the subconscious world. So this might feel a little peculiar. Maybe you feel a little more detached, but still engaging some restraint in the moment and leaning into the withdrawal aspects. It's going to have a different effect on you coming into the spring, especially with the young wood dragon. Be sure to tune into my live show, my immersion that's coming up. Dear Aries, this is happening for you in your 11th house. Colleagues, earnings gained from the fruits of your talents, your aspirations. Mars is transiting the final degrees in Capricorn. You know, that's a square to you. So this is like this brief auspicious moment where you're being granted access to the potency to really motivate yourself effectively in your house of career, the 10th house, progress, achievements. So if you do hold any suspicion that you're not well resourced, realize an ongoing project, maybe to hold the job, your capabilities, along with financial outcomes, if they feel a little confusing, this new moon is a great time to renegotiate a situations, especially in your mind. Your mind might be the captivator or the captor. And with Mars entering Aquarius, your ruler, you may just become aware of yourself or others' kind of avoidance regarding possibly the transparency with expectations versus the sustenance that's available to fulfill possibly a collaborative objective. We are in a year in the Dagara of community, connection, and conversation. So it really is about collaboration for all of us, actually. Dear Taurus, you might feel the initiation, the call for like purpose, soul purpose, a mission, while at the same time possessing a quiet, innate power. This comes from a sense of obligation that sometimes is without a price. It's done with or without applause, not being seen. So as this is happening for you in your 10th house, this is your reputation, your legacy. And with the earth habitating in Leo, it's like, what does your heart love? So there's no need to be climbing off the cliffs with Capricorn in your 9th house. You know, royalty, seers, sages. You're kind of working on the whole field, if you will, your chosen field, whatever you're passionate about, possibly finding a new mentor, somebody who can really hold you accountable and acknowledge and access your own special talents, authority. So really diving in and understanding where you sometimes inside yourself, maybe you feel a little inadequate. So kind of shifting your shape to avoid those awkward moments and elevating yourself into those new heights. If you can see it, you could believe it, you will achieve it, right? It's already there in the universal field. Just notice where you're flirting with your power and those who hold it but kind of shy away from it, and just own that affirmation using your voice within yourself. And be kind. Kindness is not a weakness. Dear Gemini, this coagulation, this collaboration is happening in your 9th house of big ideas, mystical wanderings. This is like the epiphany of the status quo. If you haven't read Untethered Soul, I would totally grab that book. But it's like you're being fed by the discovery of the mystical, the magical, the odd, the foreign ideas. And Mercury, your ruling planet, is really guiding this transitioning energy in your 9th house as well. So it's like this synthesizing intuition, this synchronicity, abstract intellect, cutting edge ideas, things that are literally off the cuff and seem so otherworldly that really awaken you. So you may need to keep your distance from the talking heads gossip. That is the opposing force of a mineral year. If somebody's out of mineral alignment in the Dagara, it's gossip and it's lies. It's people that know it all, the doomsdayers. But at the same time, they may just be intrigued by the depths of knowledge that really feels so radically bizarre and possibly borderline freaky frightening, if you will. So it's like the questioning of the who's, the what's, and the where's that you're getting this information from. The limitations of your words, language. I'm seeing light language. This is going to expand. It's going to be like a culture where the status quo is like remapping an entire world view ahead of its time. This is very futuristic magnitudes, and you're a fellow air sign, so this kind of just is in alignment, training with air. I would bring Libra in that as well. Dear Cancer, you are a sharp-witted mom. I would call you the mom seer. And oftentimes you take that for granted. You assume that everybody out there, the thoughts are finally as yours, like refined thoughts. And your planetary muse, your guide, the moon in Aquarius, this is happening for you in your 8th house of those trials and tribulations, but it's also resources. It's our shadow self. And Mercury and Pluto are also present in your 8th house as well. So they're kind of asking you deep inside where you've inherited the manner of language that you speak, where it may at times become an obstacle between yourself and others. It's those unsaid words. And with 4 planets, like in your 8th house, there's like this conjuring of a comfort stream, the comfort level experience. It's like putting your mind in this intellectual exile. And it can become a self-defeating state of your being mindfulness. So there's a fantastic opportunity to really establish those streams and those frequencies of trust in this configuration, and just offering yourself a passage to really profound intimacy with yourself or others. But just be aware, notice where you rely too heavily on others comprehending your language. Oftentimes, I speak in my own language. People don't understand me a lot. I often don't understand myself, or sometimes I do. So really possibly pull out the book and start journaling. Dear Leo, a recent shakeup in the way you are seen and perceived in the world for your talents and your gifts. And also it creates the significance of how you show up for yourself and others out into the world. This is all happening in your 7th house of self-reflection, relationships, your relationship to yourself, your day-to-day world, your business partnerships. So your sun is your guide. And in the second half of the season, with Pluto recently re-entering and marking a time where you're kind of having these dualities of relinquishing power, the structures of power within relationships, friendships, work, family. What does that structure looks like? Maybe friendships are expanding. Maybe they're vibrating differently. Maybe they're falling apart and coming back together like a puzzle with new pieces. So this is a time where your eyes maybe are seeing a new light, shedding new light, different than what you've seen before. It's those wants and those needs and how you approach love within yourself and outside of yourself. And at the same time, you may want to ask yourself to maintain a distance that really embraces the unattachment, the aloofness, maybe less polished, maybe plenty of space to experiment with those identities that often feel a little freaky or taboo. Dear Virgo, this is all playing out in your 6th house, which is your home. It's the house of maintenance, self-maintenance, self-manicuring, things we care for, oftentimes that nobody else is going to notice. And the sage, the seer of Mercury, your guiding planet, one of them, untamed Pluto transiting here in your 6th house, where questions of how your mental creature comforts, your efforts towards those ideas, inner genius, that your heart truly would like to stir in that cosmic soup, come to fruition, versus the time and the energy that you actually give away freely to come to a head. You do give too much of yourself and you're not so much on the receivership. You really are a mothering figure in the community. You usher in love. You usher in the desires, the dreams of others outside of you into being, into becoming. But soon, with all these planets cohabitating here, passing through your 6th house, you might have this feral-minded approach where you overcome your own desires to take care of your own business, where you're like saying or receiving a no thank you. That may feel a little quandary, might feel a little messy. Maybe you feel like you're having a lost opportunity, but those are things that actually stood in your own magical way. So it's the breakdown to get you to the breakthrough. When things fall apart and fade away, the universe has your back. Dear Libra, leisure, enjoyment, creative expression, all things of your 5th house, romance, love, unexpected places, discovering pleasure, the pleasure ladder, the discovery of all this and more, and these unexpected places, radical places that aren't really as conventional or joyful or interesting. There's kind of a nervous glee, if you will, a glimmer in your approach to pleasure because you feel it unconsciously. It's in the subconscious, subterranean realms, and you don't express it with flow, with ease, with clarity. But it is intuitively ever so familiar. So with the sun and the moon in your 5th house, creativity, delight, a seal is literally cracked. It's like the egg and the seal. And it's giving you permission, seeking tendencies to, oh my goddess, have a great time, a fantastic time. You're doing great. And Saturn is also gliding into your 5th house and can act as a gatekeeper to owning your sense of pleasure, as if it can be earned or circumstantial. But a sensual Venus, your guiding planet energy, opening up in Aquarius, this is really a powerful moment to really hone in on the energy of Mars and Pluto. It's like your own magic genie in a bottle, rubbing that bottle and empowering a galactic new era of creative risk, charismatic gambles. Again, the air signs I feel like are going to be percolating anew and vibrating on a frequency and getting giddy. Dear Scorpio, as Mars, part of your planetary guidance system, is kind of getting this embodied, bold energy in Capricorn, ending there in your 3rd house, you might just be warping or wrapping up some busy work. Maybe you wake up with an affliction. A 7th house kind of energy, those topics around relationships. Maybe you've got an agreement, a contract. So this new moon is happening in your 4th house of your origins, shelter, family. So it's kind of separating from an edgy configuration with Uranus in the mix, planetary happiness in your 7th house, those kinds of energies. So you might have a revelation or a revealing something around your loved ones. It could be your bloodline, or it could be your chosen loves coming to light and going on a quest for the importance of home and personal life that really maintains a subterranean level of safe distance. It's like this ancestral turmoil that's kind of bubbling to the surface. And Saturn in Pisces is kind of guiding the matters also of your 4th house, still transiting your 5th house of creative pursuits, kind of upholding a buoyant perspective on your personal space that really allows for those undisclosed kind of ebbings and flows of the tidal waves of anybody's private life. That's kind of like the institution. Dear Sagittarius, the moon for you is awakening up your 3rd house. This is where the energies of comfort, finding comfort, even in those complicated overseer conversations. So maybe you become the detective, maybe you become the sleuth, the chatterbox of the social discourse, the energetic hiccups, intellectualizing, maybe you're manufacturing problems. And Pluto moving into Aquarius is going to happen for 20 frickin' years. I'm going with 20. Everything's 20 for me lately, but Pluto in Aquarius happening in your 3rd house is like tapping into the subtle realms, telepathy, the messages from the deep subterranean realms. Could be dead air. Maybe there's a socially awkward happening. Maybe you feel rich, like white noise, like chaos. I'm thinking of static on the TV. But either way, anything that is unsaid is more descriptive than the clearly stated. So here's where the moon's kind of absorbing and recording information. It's illuminating the habitual entanglements in your style of communication. Sometimes it lingers in the in-between lines. It's fluid, I'll say, frequency, energy, vibration. So you're kind of ripe for the eloquence. I'm kind of seeing like all the table, the silverware, like all in alignment. I don't know why that came in. So this eloquence of setting the table, especially when rhetoric becomes a poison. Like sometimes we have to put our hand down is kind of what I'm saying. Dear Capricorn, for you, some time now, Saturn has been activating Pisces, transiting your 3rd house of your day-to-day routines, communication, kind of the edges of the experience of your day-to-day mundane life. So it's a potential. It may feel very vast, imbued, and available of life, giving endless possibilities. Things that it becomes more, I'm seeing like a volcano, more than meets the eye. But don't linger in doubts. That's loitering. It's not soliciting your solitude. This it, so it's kind of that energy. And this new moon is actually activating your second house. So this is sustenance, values, simple things. And Mercury too is guiding your sense of wisdom, divinity. Connect with spirit. Trade your focus on material certainty for a lifestyle of sublime resistance. And the month moving forward, draw the line, get clear, get distinct on where your source of energy is going to come from. The satisfaction, feeling valued, and really crown yourself as your own king or queen. It's going to be radically transformational and essential. I feel like there's going to be huge innovations in your own inner day-to-day self-worth, how you value yourself, and how you see the world outside of yourself. So with that, everybody, let's take a breath and a pause as you were tuning in. And really, when you do the inhale, I always like to hold for a count of 3 and then exhale for a count of 3 and just climb into your body. Know that you are safe, you are protected. I'm going to call in all the beings in the seen and the unseen. I'm going to affirm the magical beings of everybody tuning in to this moon meditation in Aquarius. I'm going to affirm the Great Spirit, the oneness, the galactic core, the center, the Milky Way, and all things in the unseen, the intangibles, the untangibles. Knowing we are safe, we are protected, we are connected, we are in the star of our own starlight. Our third eye is activated along with our shaman's portal. The shaman's portal is going to be activated for a 20-year seer system, if you will, with Pluto in Aquarius. So the shaman's portal and our third eye. So things are going to get a very eclectic and eccentric. Light, healing streams of light, scalar waves. I just kind of see that in the future. Different kinds of light, lightning, healing streams. But either way, breathing in to your heart center, your high heart, middle heart, low heart, any part of your heart that collaborates with you at this time. Allow your gatekeepers, your guides, your guardians to kind of direct you to your energetic center that you need the most activated at this time. It could be your solar plexus, mental clarity. It possibly could be your sacral, your emotional empathy, feeling, pulsating. I always do the sacral with the moon. So we've got this moon's intentions there. Feeling our feelings. We are safe. We are protected. Our feelings are safe. Our little 2-year-old self is safe. We're just breathing in, inhale, exhaling, getting our flow on. Breathing all the way down in through our own cosmic stream from the heavenly universe all the way down into the Earth star. Bringing in scalar waves of light. Could be gold, pink, blue, turquoise, green, red kundalini, gold kundalini, even green kundalini. I had green kundalini come in the other day, so just activating all of our kundalinis. I believe this comes from the green wood dragon in our heart, the dragon, the mystical and the magical. Breathing in and through, we're going to ask that the Great Spirit, the Creator, really decongest the junk in the trunk in each and every one of our energetic centers as you just continue to breathe, and maybe have an awareness of where your junk in your trunk is sitting. Maybe there's a bag of boulders that you're just visualizing, washing them away. You set them down, you put your hand out, you're waving them goodbye. You are no longer carrying the bad backpack of boulders with you. You're keeping only the boulders that have the memories, the memoirs, the messages that your soul needs, and they are light. Boulders appear heavy. However, in the subtle world, they are light. They bounce. They float. It's all perspective. Inhale universal streams from the galactic storefront, I'll say, into your green heart, illuminated young wood dragon energy, percolating there. And the wood dragon bringing in the mystical, the whimsical, the cloud lines, the things from the ethereal world into our world, the magic. And just allow the dragon floating in the airwaves through the clouds. See the dragon. What color is your dragon? Is your dragon green? Is your dragon purple? Is your azure dragon pink, white, brown, fiery, a chameleon, chartreuse? What color is your dragon? This is your personal dragon, your protector for the season of 2024, the entire year, because we are entering the young wood dragon right after this new moon. So call in your dragon, hold that dragon in your mind's eye, the color of your dragon. Does your dragon breathe fire? Does your dragon breathe air? Does your dragon breathe water? Is your dragon stone? Is it made of gold? Just pay attention to your dragon. Is your dragon part of a tree? Is your dragon coming from the water? A water dragon. Allow your dragon to be your guiding light, going in and through each and every energetic center, from the root to the solar plexus, from the root to the solar plexus to your throat, from your throat to your crown, from your crown to your 9th energetic center, your soul's harmonic, and from the 9th all the way down into the earth star, the 10th energetic center, and then bounce up to the sacral. And you're just allowing this to flow through you. And from the sacral into your heart, the high heart, the middle heart, the low heart, your heart. And then from there to the third eye, from the third eye to the shaman's portal. Be aware of the colors, because they're all scalar waves, universal streams, personal streams moving through you. You may see silver, you may see blue. And from your shaman's portal, going into your hands, the energy center in our hands, where we can command forces, force empathy. Just allow the Great Spirit to just do a cosmic cleanse of your celestial body, integrating your celestial body, your energy body, into the fullness of the magical being, the star that you are. And with that, I say Ashe. So go ahead and take a few deep breaths, climbing into your skin, being embodied for the fullness of light that you are, the energy being the star that has always been you, always will be you, always has been you. Put your left hand on your heart, and I say Ashe. And when you feel ready, go ahead and open your eyes and visualize a future that is in divine alignment with the soul, the spirit, and the star that you are. Blessings.